Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Today podcast. Right now we're going to talk about what kind of improvements you should make to your income property.
I'm Bob Nelson, real estate investment broker with Pacwest Real Estate Investments.
And I'm René Nelson with Pacwest Commercial Real Estate. Bob, on the last show, we were talking about value add. So We're talking 5 units or larger, primarily apartment complexes.
Right.
And we were talking about my client who has an 18 unit and they're going to put some money into it because they're below market rent. So we started talking about value add and you had some ideas on that. You had mentioned that sometimes it's better off to just do a modest rent increase and stay where you're at. But I did a rent study based on that 1 bedroom, 1 bath situation in the neighborhood. And my client is about $200 below market rent for everything else in the neighborhood. So I'm advocating to them, spend about $150,000 and gradually do a modest rent increase. See how many tenants are going to move. Maybe they get 3 or 4 units that go vacant and they go in and they rehab those. Let's talk about that.
I guess I'd have to ask, what's the general age of the people that own this thing? Are they near retirement? Are they fairly
definitely near retirement.
Okay,
so they don't want to take on
money
debt.
In pocket. It's nice to keep it in pocket. You become increasingly conservative with age, and you become fairly tight. It would make an improvement if it really produced a return. Otherwise, you might say, hey, let's just sit on this thing, let it cook along, and support us through a graceful retirement, etc.
Okay, but here's their standpoint.
Okay.
They're living off of the rental income now.
Right.
So if they could take, say, $150,000, put it into these units and see more passive income on a monthly basis, it's worthwhile to them because they have other cash and other assets. And frankly, they don't want to leave it to their millennium kids because I know the kids are just going to blow through the money. Okay. So they'd rather put it into the apartment.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's about $8,000, $8,500 a unit in upgrades. My gosh, that would do all the carpet. That would do the bathroom with all new fixtures and sinks, the kitchen with all new countertops and cabinets. That would probably make sense to do that. Again, it's a function of, does the rent increase hold? Because if we run out of tenants that can pay the $200 additional per rent, that's a touchy issue. But I would agree. I think that it makes sense. And you have developed a spreadsheet that deals with that type of thing.
Yes, we have.
Give Renee a call and she can walk you through the concept. I'm Bob Nelson, real estate investment broker with Pacwest Real Estate Investments.